Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all who end up watching this. I appreciate you being here. We are going to be President Trump an hour ago was in North Carolina, and we are about to find out what he has to say and how he's going to handle the situation. So, um, let's just jump right into it. How about that? How about that?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Please. Hi, Virginia.
We won't be watching it. We'll just be
Well, thank
listening
you
to
very
it.
much.
I don't want to get struck.
It's a little cold outside, but you're getting used to the cold.
What's up, Jack Black?
And one of the things that are very important to me, and
Can you hear that okay?
one of the reasons I'm happy that we won so convincingly, is to help North Carolina get fixed up. They supported us in record numbers, and I'm supporting them in record numbers too. And they had me set. I wanted to go to Los Angeles and see what was going on with California, why they aren't releasing the water. Millions and millions of gallons of water. They're sending it out to the Pacific. Someday somebody's going to explain that one. In the meantime, they have no water in Los Angeles where they had the problems. But so we're going there. But I said, well, what about North Carolina? Well, you could do that. No, I can't. I said, we're stopping in North Carolina first, and then we're going to Los Angeles.
And this is why we made him president.
Appreciate the outpouring of love that we've had here. Laura was, as you know, very instrumental in the campaign, and she lived here and is loved, and we appreciate it. And Michael Watley has been incredible, wherever Michael is. Hello, Michael. Michael Watley has been great, and you're.
This is just this is just a testament on to what kind of person Donald Trump really is. Like, they said, no, we're going to, his advisor said, no, we're going to Los Angeles first. And he said, no, we're going to North Carolina. These people have waited long enough for help, and it's time we give them help.
Yeah, we'll go to LA after.
We'll go to LA afterwards.
Congressmen have been great. And what we thought we'd do is take a quick look around. First, we wanted to do this. I want to say that we're very disappointed in FEMA. Your new governor, it's not his fault. He's brand new to the whole situation. But we're going to work together with the governor. We're going to work together with the senators, but really we're going to work a lot with your congressmen, especially the three that are in the area, and Michael Watley. And I'd like to put Michael in charge of making sure everything goes well. And Franklin Graham has been unbelievable. We've made a big contribution to Franklin, and we'll continue to do so. But I've been hearing nothing but praise for the job that Samaritan's Purse has done with Franklin. And we appreciate it. Where is Franklin? He's around here someplace. And
he's definitely not
He's always
slugging
been a
around.
good-looking guy. His father was a good-looking guy, too, I'll tell you. We loved his father.
He
Right?
fucking
I
means
saw his
business,
father
and he's
in the
gonna get
latter
down to
years. And I said, well, he doesn't have long to go. He was having a hard time, and he lived about 3 or 4 years after that. Right? They say it was good stock.
This is being used when the
Ultimate
30th
good
act in
stock.
1971.
But I want to thank you, Franklin. You've been fantastic here, and everywhere he goes, he's always the first one I see. People don't realize it how good it is. A lot of people, they go, well, maybe it's for the people that he's got.
Educational and informational purposes only.
But the people that he's got have done amazing work. So I just want to thank everybody. We're going to get over and take a look. We'll say a few words. I do want to introduce some of the people that we have, and our First Lady. We'll start with our First Lady. She wanted to be here because of North Carolina, and then I said, well, you can do that, but you're going to have to come to California, too. And she said, that's okay. And we got to fix that one up, too. You ever see anything like that one? It's who would have thought that could have happened? So, Governor Josh Stein, thank you very much.
Yeah, from the first hour he was in
Appreciate it.
presidency, man,
And,
he's definitely already making changes
We
already.
have a very long and good relationship.
Trump ain't bugging
Representatives,
around.
maybe stand up if you would, so the press can see. Representatives Chuck Edwards. Chuck, thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Tim Moore.
This is how to get in shape fast.
If you want to drop this,
start eating more of these.
Virginia, you know Virginia Fox, a legend. She is such a powerful woman. Pat Harrigan. Pat,
What's up, Rich?
thank you very much. Your agriculture commissioner, who I hear is excellent, Steve Troxler. Steve, thank you very much. Good job, Steve. You got plenty to do, right? More than you ever thought. North Carolina Speaker Dustin Hall. Thank you, Dustin. Thanks, Dustin. Very good. House Majority Leader Brendan Jones.
Really, Jack Black?
Thank you very much. We're making progress, Brendan. State
Like,
Representative.
what kind of property are you looking for, man? I can help you look for some property, bro.
Gillespie. Thank you very much, fellas. Good. Good. Thank you very much. State Senators Kevin Corbin, Warren Daniel. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin, Warren. And
That's
County
badass.
Commissioner Jennifer Best.
Because we're moving to Idaho,
Thank
looking
you.
at property anywhere in Idaho.
So Hurricane Helene was one of the worst natural disasters in American history. It was far worse than it was even billed. I have never seen such water damage. It was largely water damage, wind damage, but water damage nobody's ever seen. I've been here, as you know, numerous times, but now I'm here in a position where we can do something, meaning I've been in office for 4 days, and I wanted
Hi,
to come
James.
sooner, but actually they had a little problem with getting logistically in here, but I would have been here even sooner. 104 North Carolinians have lost their lives. Is that now a fairly firm number, or are they still finding people?
104 people dead?
What do you think? They're still finding people? Pretty much okay? It's a lot of people. 104 people lost their lives. 73,000 homes were severely damaged or destroyed. And I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of them, and this was like lots of hurricanes in one. I've never seen such damage done by water. And the water came, it was violent, and it left, and there was like nothing left. It's really pretty amazing. At one point, half of the emergency calls to FEMA went unanswered. That's real bad. FEMA was not doing their job. The city of Asheville went without running water for 2 months. A whistleblower testified that some FEMA employees refused to help people who displayed Trump signs on their properties. I think that's true, isn't it? I read that. It's not nice. That's not too nice, is it? But whoever those property people were, thank you very much. Michael,
Wow.
is that true? That's not good, huh? About the property owners you put a Trump sign on and they wouldn't help? FEMA. Earlier this year, FEMA kicked 2,000 North Carolinians out of their temporary housing into below freezing temperatures. What was that all about? Is that, you know about that?
Because they hate Trump.
Because they hate Trump. Putting people out in the snow because they hate Trump. What a fucking joke.
That's fucked up. Dude.
Rich says, we already have USA Border Patrol having more checkpoints than before in SoCal. We always had them going to San Diego and LA, but they're all on highways, etc., leading to freeways. Trump is not fucking around.
He's not.
That's right. He's not fucking around.
He's
We're
not
taking
either.
our country back, and we're gonna make this country the greatest
Oh,
country in the
yes,
world once
dude.
again, dude.
It's so awesome to see.
Inslee left us with $12 billion in debt, and people keep voting for these idiots. I don't get it either, Jack Black. I really fucking don't get it either, my friend.
What happened? Tell me.
We had an incompetent administration under Biden, and we had a disaster, and we call it the disaster after the disaster. That was the FEMA response.
You had nothing but disaster since then. It doesn't matter at this point. Biden did a bad job. Some residents still don't have hot water, drinking water, or anything else. And
Take it back, baby. You don't need to be done, Jack. You can keep going, bud.
They don't have anything.
Let
They
that
got
shit out, bro.
a stipend for what they lost, and we're going to take care of it. This is totally unacceptable, and I'll be taking strong action to get North Carolina the support that you need to quickly recover and rebuild. We're working on it very hard. And I think if Michael Watley does half as good a job for North Carolina as he did for my campaign, we'll be very happy. Him and Laura were a very powerful team. So you think you can handle it, Michael? I don't know. I'm not sure, Michael. I think this is maybe in many ways easier, okay? Maybe easier. But you're going to lead the team. You want to say who the congressmen are that you want to appoint? Do you want to introduce them?
We had Virginia Fox, Chuck Edwards, and Tim Moore, whose districts have come this year.
And they are the districts that were most severely impacted, right? You were affected then, Virginia?
No one seems to know this, but Amazon actually has a $50 million fund that they have to pay.
Really? No. I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of FEMA. I think, frankly, FEMA is not good. I think when you have a problem like this, I think you want to go and, whether it's a Democrat or Republican governor, you want to use your state to fix it and not waste time calling FEMA. And then FEMA gets here and they don't know the area. They've never been to the area. And they want to give you rules that you've never heard about. They want to bring people that aren't as good as the people you already have. And FEMA's turned out to be a disaster. And you could go back a long way. You could go back to Louisiana. You could go back to...
With your I'm done comment there, Jack, I'm going to feed off that a little bit. And this is what I'm saying. You know what I'm done with? I'm done with motherfucking people putting American citizens in our country last.
Yeah.
America first all the time, every time.
Because we help everybody out. We always help everybody out.
Let's speed this up just a little bit. How about that? Just a little bit.
Some of the things that took place in Texas, it turns out to be the state that ends up doing the work. It just complicates it. I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away, and we pay directly. We pay a percentage to the state, but the state should fix this. If the state did this from the beginning, it would have been a lot better situation. I think you guys agree with that, right?
Absolutely.
So I just want to say that Asheville, I know it well. It's a great place, and we're going to have it be a great place again. That was the one that was most severely affected. But North Carolina is going to come back bigger, better, stronger than ever before. And you're going to be very thankful. And you've already seen, I know that it really began 4 days ago, but you've already seen more action than you have in the last 3 months. And we're going to get it together. We're informing the Army Corps of Engineers to get going because you have a lot of river breaks and a lot of areas that you're going to need some pretty big work. And they're on their way. They're going to be working very much harder than they've been working in the past. And we're going to take care of it. Any questions from the press?
I knew you'd agree, Jack.
Congressman, governor, anybody?
So they even signed the order on FEMA to get rid of it. Can you say more about signing the executive order to get rid of FEMA?
FEMA has been a very big disappointment. They cost a tremendous amount of money. It's very bureaucratic, and it's very slow. Other than that, we're very happy with them. Okay, and I think when there's a problem with the state, I think that problem should be taken care of by the state. That's what we have states for. They take care of problems. And a governor can handle something very quickly. You know, one of the things I've noticed, because I've been doing this for a while, and we had a pretty good FEMA, but I also noticed that when they come, they end up in arguments. If they're fighting all the time over who does what, it's just not a good system. This system is so beautifully designed over 250 years, approximately. You know,
I'm pausing this, Pat. Hang on a second. Welcome in, Pat. Everybody, welcome Pat in here. Pat says, imagine if we still had that money. Every person in this country could own their own home. If Americans got it and not other countries. Absolutely correct. Rada Rich says we have a border patrol check going to Arizona from California. And before it was border patrol in Arizona coming to California. They're not just armed with glockenspiels no more. They have M4s. They have M4s, bro. Yeah, that's fucked up. Checkpoint. They're going to start doing background checks on ammo purchases and limit the amount you buy after taxing the fuck out of us. In Washington? Really? Wow. That's fucking crazy.
Celebrating the 250th year is going to be a very big celebration. but it's been designed very well, and we're going to leave it that way. When North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, when everybody knows the governor of Tennessee, I think, everybody. Do you know everybody here pretty much? I never thought of it, but you're right over the ridge.
Right over the
So you're here to help. That's great.
The people in this region, including Tennessee, the people of Appalachia, are grateful that you are here, that you haven't forgotten it. And that there are other disasters, but this one was enormous for both North Carolina and Tennessee. So thank you.
We can call them glocky
I've seen a lot
spills.
of disasters.
We can call them
When
glocky
I came,
spills. Well,
I
that's
came here
good.
right
That's a
after
good
the
name
day
for 'em.
after. And when I came here, I couldn't believe it, actually. I couldn't believe the damage. And I've seen a lot of them. This was more like a tornado than it was what we witnessed. So we're going to get it very much taken care of. Good job. That's nice that you came. And so you call it right, you're right over the ridge, right, Tennessee? I like Tennessee too. Let's see, where did I get more votes, Tennessee or North Carolina? I hate to tell you, North Carolina, it was Tennessee.
There's one of the counties in this disaster at 88% for you. So.
88%, yeah. No, it's the people are just incredible people. So do you have any questions, Press?
President, you talked about conditions being placed on aid to California, voter ID and the like. Are there any conditions that you're going to put on aid to North Carolina?
We're going to do a lot for North Carolina. They've been very slow. I don't know why it's been so bad. This has been one of the worst I've seen. Katrina, of course, was something that obviously that was a long time ago. That was.
I agree, Jack.
But this has been
I
very
agree.
slow. I don't know if that was for political reasons because they lost the state. Biden lost the state. Maybe he felt he doesn't care. Maybe there were other reasons. I don't know. But this has been very slow. By any standard, this has been very slow, and we're gonna make up for lost time.
What conditions you're going to push for aid?
Well, in California, I have a condition. In California, we want them to have voter ID so the people have a voice, because right now the people don't have a voice because you don't know who's voting, and it's very corrupt. And we also want them to release the water. If they released the water, they wouldn't have had a problem. If they released the water when I told them to, because I told them to do it 7 years ago, if they would have done it, you wouldn't have had the problem that you had. You might not have even had a fire. So, but here I don't have that. It's a different thing. You got hit by a storm. The people are incredible. They worked really well. Franklin was fantastic, and other groups. By the way, other groups came in that were also fantastic, and other states came in. Tennessee and a couple of others came in, and they really helped. That's the way it's supposed to be. No, this is a different kind of a thing.
Have you decided how much funding you would allocate towards disaster relief?
About what?
Have you decided how much funding you would allocate towards disaster relief?
I have to see what it is.
Are you disappointed that Senator Schiff hadn't joined you on this trip? It's reported he invited Senator Schiff to join you on this trip and he was too busy. Are you disappointed?
I don't know. I was told that Schiff was going to travel with us to California. I wasn't thrilled, to be honest with you. And I saw him last night on television. It looks like he got hit with a baseball bat or something. What happened to him? Something happened to him. It looked like he got hit. It looked like he got beat around. But I'll ask Caroline to find out what happened to him. No, if he wanted to come out, I would have done that. But I don't know. Somebody said that he wanted to come on the.
Sorry, I was muted. So, Jack, what do you think about this? Your comment here says, I've been experimenting with my black powder with many different loads. You should do a live stream with me, and you come up and show us how to do reloading. I think it's important.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's important. What do you think, Jack? Want to do that? Not right now, but in the near future.
The plane, but I think he's staying back for the votes. There's some pretty good votes going on. Yeah.
President, what is your timeline for getting rid of FEMA?
For this one.
You just talked about possibly getting rid of FEMA. What timeline are you looking at, and how would you do that?
Well, we're looking here. Here, you're talking about to start. We're going to start immediately. Timeline, and to finish, it's going to be a period of time. People are also rebuilding their houses. How long does it take to build a house? Right, it takes a time.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings?
And I want them to build houses bigger, better, nicer than they had before, so they can at least they get something out of this disaster. This was a real disaster. No, timeline will be fast. In terms of infrastructure, I think very fast. I want to thank Elon, because Elon was able to get us communication systems, as you know, Starlink. We had no communication. The first day I got here, I was asked by one of the really great representatives, professionals, is there any way you could get Starlink here? Because they had no communication whatsoever. And I called up Elon Musk, and he had, hundreds of units brought immediately. And it's hard to get. They couldn't get them before. And that made a lot of difference. I think it's
I agree, Rich.
lives, actually. Yeah. Infrastructure-wise, we'll do it quickly.
Sir, can you just
All
cover
right,
how long
Jack
it might
Black
take us
powder's
to get
in.
rid of
Hell
FEMA?
yeah.
What's the timeline on that? We're gonna roll it back.
I would say.
I know it's not hard to do. I know how to
as
reload. I'm
someone
just saying
said,
for everybody else that don't know how
I'm
to
not really
reload.
thinking about FEMA right now. Here, I'm thinking about Michael Watley. And
All
I'm
right,
thinking
Jack. That's what I like.
the
Team
three
effort, man.
Congress people that you just heard from, and also the other people in Congress, and they'll be working with the governor. They'll be working with the governor. So that's what I see.
Change the subject real quickly. The Lake and Riley Act was signed by Mike Speaker Johnson yesterday.
Right.
When do you anticipate you could sign that? In
Well, we're honored by that. Lake and Riley, I was there at the time, and we had a big meeting with the parents right after that horrible thing took place. And we have an act. You all know what that act represents. And it was a bipartisan bill. Many Democrats signed onto it. That's something that is a tribute to Lakin, a beautiful young lady
Right,
who was
Jack.
killed viciously by an illegal alien. And we passed a very powerful bill, and it was just approved, and we'll have a ceremony sometime very shortly. I'll be signing it. In other words, if you're asking, I will definitely be signing it. Okay? Yeah.
Mr. President, the security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, and I'm wondering if you have any comment on that.
About what?
The security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, sir. Do you have a comment?
No, I think, when you work for government, at some point your security detail comes off, and, you can't have them forever. So I think it's very standard. If it would be for somebody else, you wouldn't be asking the question. The question is very fair. But, you work for government. We took some off other people too. But you can't have a security detail for the rest of your life because you work for government. So we'll see what happens.
Would you feel partially responsible if something were to happen to, say, Dr. Fauci
No.
or John Bolton?
No. They all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security too. All the
Yeah,
people
no
you're talking
shit.
about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money. Fauci made a lot of money. They all did. So if they, felt that strongly.
Yeah, I
I'd
seen
take
that too, Raider
that.
Ridge.
Certainly, I would not take responsibility.
North Carolina is a state that relies on trade and manufacturing. Are you going to have an announcement on new tariffs coming soon? Is there a timeline now?
Yeah, the tariffs are going to make our country rich. We're going to be a rich, rich country very soon. Tariffs are going to make it rich, and competence. We have common sense, competence, and tariffs. The word tariff is one of the most beautiful words in the dictionary.
Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary of the United Kingdom, said that there's an even trade between the U.S. and the UK, so they shouldn't have tariffs. Does trade imbalances or a balanced trade affect tariffs and your decisions?
Yeah, unbalanced and balanced, and also deficits. Like with Canada, we lose $200 billion a year with Canada. That's because we allow them to make cars. We allow them to take lumber. We don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We don't need their food products because we make the same products right on the other side of the border. It's sort of crazy. So we've just allowed that, bad management has allowed it over the last 4 years in particular to become very imbalanced. And I said I call him Governor Trudeau, but he's Prime Minister Trudeau when he was Prime Minister. I asked him, why would we do that? Why? And he was unable to give me an answer. He said, I don't know. And I said, do you think it's fair that we're paying $200 billion to keep Canada going? And what would happen? I asked him, what would happen if we didn't do that, if we didn't subsidize Canada? He said, we'd be a failed nation. And I said, then you should be a state. Because why are we paying all of that money to Canada when, we could use it ourselves, right? So we take care of their military. We're going to order about 40 Coast Guard big icebreakers, big ones. And all of a sudden, Canada wants a piece of the deal. I say, why are we doing that? I mean, I like doing that if they're a state, but I don't like doing that if they're a nation. Also, they've been very nasty to us on trade. Historically, Canada has been very, very bad to us, very unfair to us on trade. So we'll see how it all works out. I would love to see Canada be the 51st state. The Canadian citizens, if that happened, would get a very big tax cut, tremendous tax cut, because they're very highly taxed. And you wouldn't have to worry about military. You wouldn't have to worry about many of the things. You'd have better health coverage. You'd have much better health coverage. So I think the people of Canada would like it, if it's explained. But just to start off, they'd have a massive tax cut, and they'd have a lot more business because then we'd let business go to Canada routinely, and there'd be no tariffs. If we did that, there'd be no tariffs.
So the United Kingdom might be in a better spot then.
Reverend Franklin Graham has been a great asset to the state. Talk a little bit about the way the Samaritan Purse has helped North Carolina.
Yes, once again,
Reverend Franklin Graham has been a big part of Samaritan Purse and their aid to North Carolina. Just want to get your thoughts.
Well, Franklin Graham has been a big asset to the state. His father was a big asset to the state, to the country, both of them. I just think this. I think Franklin and other people that are doing what Franklin have done. But I've known Franklin so long. He was at the inauguration.
Please elaborate, standing there.
Beautiful prayer. He does a great job. We made a big donation, and it was money well spent. Sometimes you make donations, it's not well spent. He's done a great job here. He's done a really great job. So I want to thank you. We're going to the site now, and one of the sites, and I think for those that haven't seen it, you won't even believe it, but not enough work was done. We'll get it done fast. And I can speak for the Republican congressman. We're going to knock it out, right? We're going to knock it out. And I think we take it very personally because North Carolina was very unfairly treated, very, very unfairly treated. And it was obvious. It was too obvious. And we're going to make up for lost time. So thank you to the people of North Carolina. Thank you, everybody.
Do this 7 minutes a day until the end of February. We start this today. In a week, you'll feel better.
So what do y'all think about that one? I'm definitely eager to see how it turns out. And Raider Rich, speaking of illegal immigrants, let's see what Trump has to say about that from 1 hour ago. What do you say?
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. North Carolina, it's been a horrible thing, the way that's been allowed to fester, and we're going to get it fixed up. Should have been done months ago from the hurricane that took place almost 4 months ago. North Carolina's been treated very badly, so we're stopping there, and we're going to then go to Los Angeles and take a look at a fire that could have been put out if they let the water flow, but they didn't let the water flow, and they still haven't for whatever reason. So I think we're going to have a very interesting time. I think many of you are going with us. If you'd like to have a ride on the plane, we'd love to give it to you. I don't know. Is he going? Is he going? I don't know. I mean, I really don't. You know, because if he's going to be there, it would be cheaper, but I didn't invite him. Somebody did. Look, whatever it is, it is. He's a good man. I don't know what's going to happen. You never know those things, but Pete's a very, very good man. I hope he makes it. I hope he makes it.
All right, Jack Black, be good, my friend. I'll get a hold of you. I'll be in touch with you about doing a live stream with you, bro.
And of course, Mitch is always a no vote, I guess. That's Mitch a no vote? How about Mitch?
I'm right there with you, Raider Rich.
Let's see what happens.
I 100% support mass deportation.
I did a big trip for the March for Life, and we look forward to seeing it. I'm going to be watching it, and J.D. Vance, our vice president, is there, and he's going to be representing us very well.
Let me pause this for a minute. Let me expand on my comment with me agreeing with Raider Rich. I have no problem whatsoever with immigration. None. If you want to come into this country legally and do it legally, I'm all for it. If the first action you take coming into this country is a felony, I have a problem with that. If you come here illegally, I look at it like you have not the best intentions in mind for America. There's my feedback on that.
Taking place in a little while, and other than being a little bit cold, it's a beautiful day.
How will your administration protect pro-life Americans?
We're all for it. In fact, as you know, I just signed a pardon, and in the pardon we released 23 people that were unjustly put in, having to do with pro-life, and they will be released, and they'll be out very shortly. It was disgraceful what happened. That was a persecution.
Will you give Italy a break on tax on terrorists?
Well, I like her very much. Let's see what happens. Have a great time. Everybody thought I was going to California. I said, no, I'm stopping in North Carolina first because they've been abused by what's happened. I mean, it's terrible. It should have been done. It should have been, a lot of things should have happened that didn't happen. So we're here. We're going to fix it out. We're working with the gentleman behind me, and you know who they are, and we're going to fix it. And we're going to fix it as fast as you can. It's a massive amount of damage. FEMA has really let us down, let the country down. And I don't know if that's Biden's fault or whose fault it is, but we're going to take over and we're going to do a good job. We're going to assign Mr. Watley, who's fantastic, frankly, and the governor and everybody else that's going to work. We're going to supply the money, supply a lot of the money. Maybe you have to chip in something. You'll chip in a little something, like maybe 25% or whatever. but we're going to get it done as quickly as we can. And we want to take care of the people of North Carolina. It's so interesting. Everybody's talking about
What's up,
California,
Amanda?
and that's a mess. But I said, I'm not going to California until I stop in North Carolina. So here we are. We're going to go visit the site, and we're going to work with probably 3 of the congressmen, Republican congressmen, who've been fantastic, whose areas have been affected, and with Michael Whatley, the governor, and whoever else is, we decide to get involved. Probably less FEMA, because FEMA just hasn't done the job. And we're looking at the whole concept of FEMA. I like, frankly, the concept when North Carolina gets hit, the governor takes care of it. When Florida gets hit, the governor takes care of it, meaning the state takes care of it. To have a group of people come in from an area that don't even know where they're going in order to solve immediately a problem is something that never worked for me. But this is probably one of the best examples of it not working. And there's been some others, like in Louisiana, etc. So we're going to be doing something on FEMA that I think most people agree. I'd like to see the states take care of disasters. Let the state take care of the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all of the other things that happen. And I think you're going to find it a lot less expensive. You'll do it for less than half, and you're going to get a lot quicker response. So that seems to be the recommendation. But we'll be making that recommendation over the next couple of weeks. We're going to go to the...
You know me, Raider Rich. If you were lying, I'd tell you you're lying. And since you're not lying, I can't tell you you're lying, my friend.
Site now, and we're going to figure out a plan for really demolition and cleaning, because not a lot's been done. And we're very disappointed in the Biden administration, but we're going to make up for lost time. And I said I'd do that. And this is about the earliest we could possibly be here. And we're honored to be here. This has been a great state. They're great people, and they've really been mishandled. But this group is going to be great, and we're going to get it taken care of. Any questions?
How will you respond to FEMA? Do you expect to ask Congress for additional aid for North Carolina and California?
It will be direct. In other words, the aid will go through us. So rather than going through FEMA, it will go through us. And I think maybe this is a good place to start.
Wearing compression stockings is not the best way to regenerate nerves. Christians, did you know there's a biblical...
Because, and in all fairness to the governor, and in all fairness to everybody else, FEMA was not on the ball. And we're going to turn it all around. Yes.
A lot of Americans think that this is symbolic of what your campaign was all about. America first, putting your priorities to Americans, even going to California where their policies might have been one of the biggest reasons why they've had these problems. But you're putting American people first. Your thoughts on that?
We are. Thank you. I like that question. Boy, I want more questions like that. That's even a statement. Thank you very much. He's a good man, that guy. And he's also a very professional reporter, I have to say. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're putting America first. We're putting, in this case, North Carolina and California. We're going to do a good job in California. That is a disaster like, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like it, frankly. They say the biggest in the history of California. I think, has anything bigger than that happened in the whole country ever? It looks like, I don't want to say what it looks like, but you know what I'm going to say. It looks like something hit it. And we won't talk about what hit it, but it is a bad, bad situation. And I guess I'm going to meet with some government officials, but I mean, much more importantly, and in California, just to revert to it for a second, millions of gallons of water are waiting to be poured down through already the half pipes that are already built. I mean, they've been up for 40 years. And about 20 years ago, they turned off the water. And it's the water that comes from the Pacific Northwest. Some of it comes out of Canada, and it flows there, and it probably has flowed there for 1 million years. And they turned it off, and they routed out to the Pacific. And in the meantime, you don't have water in the hydrants. You don't have water in the sprinkler systems. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And everyone's trying to figure out, why aren't they turning it back? They say it's the Delta smelt. It's a fish. But I find that hard to believe. But we'll figure it out. And without doing that, you're going to continue to have problems.
Mr. President, what are you prepared to do, sir, if OPEC doesn't respond to your call to cut oil prices?
Well, we want to see OPEC cut the price of oil, and that will automatically stop the tragedy that's taking place in Ukraine. It's a butchering tragedy for both sides, by the way. A tremendous number of Russian soldiers are dead, tremendous number of Ukrainian soldiers, and a lot of people are dead from the bombing of the cities. But right now, it's just bullets whacking and hitting men, mostly men, almost in all cases men. And they're over 1 million men are killed, and they're losing thousands of people a week. It's crazy. It's a crazy war, and it never would have happened if I was president. Would never have happened. This is crazy that it happened, but we want to stop it. Now, one way to stop it quickly is for OPEC to stop making so much money and to drop the price of oil, because they have it nice and high. And if you have it high, that war's not going to end so easily. So OPEC ought to get on the ball, and they ought to drop the price of oil, and that war will stop right away.
Mr. President, funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want two things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now, you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You want to have proof of citizenship. Ideally, you have one-day voting, but I just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while. We'll see you at the site. We'll see you at the site.
Tell us more about the deportation flights. Where are they going from? Where are they going to?
Deportation is going very well. We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get, as bad as anybody you've seen. We're taking them out first. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Move to the grass. Move to the grass.
All right. Well, I'll open the panel up. Anybody wants to come up and talk about what we just watched and heard, listened to, fine. To come up for a minute. I don't have too much time. I got some time I can hang out and chat with you guys. I just wanted to play this. I just wanted to show some of this stuff that has gone on today so far. Why? Because we get to know this shit. That's why. So there's the link.
We need to talk about the California thing. You seen about the trafficking?
Oh. Where's it at? You got it? So my wife wants me to discuss something too here real quick. So we'll do that as well. Yeah. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go way on back. I said let's go back. Well, Raider Rich, you know why there was no outrage and outrage back then. Come on now, we all know why.
Trying to find it.
It was a press conference on YouTube, wasn't it?
Yeah. I have it saved on here on the playlist.
So. Just trying to find something real quick for you guys. Hold on. Can't find it.
No. Maybe it was under Penelope. Let's try to do it this way. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Yeah, I'll have to find it. You can click some other time.
All right, yeah, we'll have to come back to it. My wife can't find it now. I can't find nothing on it either. All right. What's up, Lucky Strike? It is. I think. Babe, can you see what my catch up tag is?
Yeah.
Just a second, man. Just a second, Lucky Strike. Okay. There's my catch up tag, and it's under this name right here. That's the name it's under. I hope everybody's having a good day. Well, I hope most people are having a good day. People like Biden and Nancy Pelosi, I could give a fuck less if they have a good day or not.
I don't know what.
How are you, ladies and gentlemen, doing today? Huh? Hope y'all do. Stop, Noya.
No, I quit.
People don't understand, but look at this. He's like a growth. He's like a growth. He's just a growth.
I can't find it.
Look, you're on camera. Can you say hi to everybody? Can you say hi? Can you say hi? He's like a growth you don't want to get rid of. But I do appreciate you all being here, watching, and hanging out for a minute. We got about another 15 minutes I could spend up here today, right now, anyway. If any of y'all want to come up, say hi. So I'm excited to find out and see how Trump, I almost called him Hump, how Trump handles this North Carolina issue. I think it's good that it's one of the first things he's doing. I know my boys like Nils the Iron Wolf and his crew can definitely use some relief and some help there too, you know. All right, Lucky Strike, let's go. That's all good. Maybe next time. Move.
January is human trafficking prevention month. Community stories raise awareness to Madison Wyvern of human trafficking at the hands of her own father, and she is now to help others.
Quit.
Shut up, Noya.
Quit.
Okay, hang on a second. I have to go grab my phone out of the car. Hang on.
Will you please stop?
Yes, Lucky Strike, I got it. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate it. I really do. It'll definitely come in handy to fill up the gas tank. But yes, sweetheart, I got it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. And with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get my ass to work. Thanks for joining me. I just thought it was important to put that out there so people could hear what's going on. Especially, I hope our friend Nils the Iron Wolf heard what's going on, and let's all just keep North Carolina and everybody else in our prayers today, huh? With that being said, I'm G2K. I'm getting out of here. Do me 2 favors. Number 1, try to love one another right now, because you might not get a chance to do so tomorrow. In fact, there's some of us here today that won't get that chance to do so tomorrow, so we might as well take advantage of that opportunity while we have it. Number 2, tell your friends about me, because you're going to want to know, get to know. Laters, all you fucking haters.